Good morning, everybody. I know I'm a few minutes late, but I don't know, it's quite of a madness this morning around here because the weather and then we had earthquakes. So all my pets are all riled up. I didn't know this morning why Connor was actually screaming at me. He kept wanting stuff. I couldn't figure out why. And then we had the 4.6 earthquakes. We had like 8 of them since last evening. But oh well. So it is nice to see you again. And we will have now the monthly chat for April. Hi, Catherine. Nice to meet you. Is it your first time to one of my lives? I love it when my lives go international. Absolutely love it. So let's see, what are we looking forward to and what has happened and what might happen. Remember, I said it's not that easy for me to plan because of my various health issues, and I will explain about that because I had a few questions about that as well. Bonjour, Cécile. So it's April, so spring is here. Tomorrow we shall finish that brooch that we started. Hi, Amber. Hi, Jules. For the spring thing, I finished all the flowers that I showed you how to make, and we'll just put them together in a brooch. One thing that has to be kind of taken into consideration because of what has happened lately is that I will pretty much have to schedule my lives with the intention of them not getting over an hour long, because it seems that I really cannot sit on a chair for longer than an hour before I start getting in real pain. Um, so I'll have to schedule very carefully what are the subjects of the lives. Then I'm starting. One thing that I have to, and I was told that I do not stress this out enough. So, if you are watching my channel often and regularly, number one, if you go and like my Facebook page, you will notice that generally speaking, I do polls with my Facebook followers concerning the subject of my next public tutorial. Bonjour François. Oui, je vais. Um, so you will get a chance to vote on what will be the next public tutorial that is outside of my plan, of course. That doesn't mean that, because I usually give like 3 or 4, 5 choices, and I will do the one that gets the most votes. But that doesn't mean that I won't do the other ones that did not get the vote. They just get rerun for the next poll. So you might want to subscribe to my Facebook page for that. Number two, on the Facebook page, that is where I post links to my newest articles on my website. And yes, there are some things that are members only. Now remember, yeah, I will talk about that. I will talk about that. And no, there is no solution, Catherine. Trust me. Remember that I said that there will be some articles on my website and some material that can only be seen by members. Do not confuse members with sponsors. Sponsors is a completely different thing. Yes, there is a sponsor area of the website, and only if you are one of my sponsors, you can see. But the membership on my website is absolutely free. And the only advantage is that, hi Teresa, you will see articles, and a lot of times I might put previews seen by the public, and then it tells you that you cannot read the entire article unless you're a member. But again, the regular membership is completely free. So you can go ahead and register. Now let me translate real quick in French, and then I'll talk about the other things. Donc, j'ai dit que ça a été une matinée très agitée pour nous ici in Oklahoma parce que on a le temps, c'est l'hiver encore revenu, et on a de la neige, on a de la pluie gelée, et il fait très froid. Et ensuite, on a eu 8 tremblements de terre depuis hier soir. Donc, le dernier il y a 3 heures, et ça a été un 4 S6, je crois. Donc, mes animaux sont un peu agités. Et, deuxièmement, je disais que si vous êtes un de mes abonnés ici en YouTube, peut-être vous pouvez vous abonner aussi sur ma page Facebook parce que hello, Forster Tassio, that's Tassio. Hi Tassio. Bonjour Valérie. Donc, parce que sur ma page Facebook, d'habitude, je fais des votes sur le sujet de mon prochain tuto public. Et ça dépend, je vous donne quelques sujets et vous votez, et quel sujet gagne, ça sera mon next tuto. Mon tuto. Hi Fran. And sorry, I'm trying to do 2 languages. Donc, ça c'est un. Deuxièmement, sur ma page Facebook aussi, je poste des liens pour mon website, oui, quand je poste des articles nouvelles. Et ensuite, comme j'ai dit, il y a des matériels sur mon website qui sont seulement pour les membres. Non, ne faites pas la confusion entre être un sponsor et être un membre de mon website. Les sponsors, c'est une autre chose, c'est un payé, ils ont beaucoup de perks et de choses, mais être un régulier membre, tout ce que vous devez faire, c'est de vous enregistrer et c'est gratuit. Et il y a des matériels qui sont seulement pour les membres. Now, so yeah, if you want to be a member, you'll have to register. That's the only thing. You have to be a registered member in order to have access to those. Je t'ai oublié, je sais pas. Probablement. Tu sais, ma mémoire est beaucoup affectée par la keynote, donc j'ai des problèmes avec oublier. So the second thing, I have been and I'm asked a lot of times about the materials that I'm using, about the tools that I'm using, where there are several things, and I usually put them in the description of the video. But also, and I'm slowly catching up. I am making my YouTube videos part of articles on my website, and when I do the articles on the website and with a video embedded, I give a little bit more information. But generally speaking, check the description of the video, check my Amazon influencer store, because I put there whatever Polyclay Play doesn't have. Because generally it would be the Polyclay Play and then it would be the Amazon. And if it's from neither of them, then I will still post a link in the video description to where you can find whatever I used in that video. And then if you put orders in through Polyclay Play, because now we get to the second thing. I was told that I don't push enough. Other artists always remind you about sponsorship and about money and about, well, I'm a little, I'm not that pushy. But yes, there are several ways in which, because I am disabled and I have a low disability income, that's what life happens. Um, any way that you can help me so I can purchase the materials I need for the tutorials is welcome. And you can, you don't have to afford to be able to afford to be one of my sponsors. You can also, whenever you put in an order, for example, with Polyclay Play, if you put it through my website, there's a small icon there on the left-hand side of the page. Um, you, if you click on that and you go and you put your order there, your price will not change, but I get a few cents worth on each dollar, and those add up as credit for me, not as money, just as credit towards my next clay purchase, and that helps tremendously when I have to buy my clay for the tutorials. The other way is with my Amazon influencer store. That is the same thing, and I, again, your prices don't change, but I get a few cents on each purchase, and that adds up. And I have set up my payment for that on Amazon gift cards. So right now the budget is to get me a bigger monitor so I can see better, and I would stop um, getting out of camera because I don't see what's going on the screen. Um, so let me say it real quick in French. Donc, on m'a dit que je ne parle pas euh, du fait que j'ai besoin de l'argent pour faire mes tutos, que d'autres artistes sont un peu plus agressifs en ça. Ben, j'oublie. Euh, le problème, c'est que même si vous ne vous pouvez pas être un de mes sponsors mensuels, vous pouvez encore m'aider si vous utilisez pour votre... Mais ça, c'est pas très bon pour l'Europe. Donc, je ne sais pas si je devrais même parler de ça parce que ce sont des ordres qui sont dans l'US, dans les États-Unis, mais si vous suivez les liens de mon website pour mettre vos ordres online, donc je reçois quelques cents sur chaque dollar qui va comme un crédit pour moi pour mon prochain achat de matériel. Donc ça, c'est très bien parce que, comme vous savez, je suis invalide, donc je vis sur une pension d'invalidité qui n'est pas très grande. Acheter des matériels, c'est un problème. Donc, oh, tu as pu? Alors, on peut commander de mon Amazon Influencer et d'habitude, vous le trouvez dans la description et aussi si vous allez sur mon canal, il y a un petit A là-bas et vous trouvez là-bas pas seulement, parce que moi, je mets là-bas un tas de choses que j'utilise, mais vous allez trouver là-bas, si je mets pas le Polyclay Play, dans la description du vidéo, vous le trouvez dans mon magasin Amazon Influencer. Et ça, quand il s'agit des matériels et des outils et de tout ça que j'utilise dans mes tutos. Oui, je sais. Mais je peux rien faire sur ça. Okay, now let's go back because talking health. And I do, if you go on my website, if you go on my blog, I tried talking about it and why I have so many health issues that make me unable to do this, unable to do that, or I say, oh, I'm going to make that, and then it takes 2 weeks or a month before I'm able to do it. Some of you know I am a breast cancer survivor, and I was one of those unfortunate people that if anything could have a nasty side effect, I got it. Luck of the draw, you know. So I have a lot of issues that deal, on one hand, with chronic pain, and on the other hand, with nerve damage. That is one of the chemo drugs completely shut my nervous system. So now the nerves send signals of pain. Um, uh, they send signals of pain where there is no physical cause of pain. So there's nothing that can be done about it, because it's not like I have a burn that can be dressed and medicated and cured, or no. Just one nerve, let's say a nerve in my hand, decides to say, oh, it hurts, and sends the brain the signal that it hurts. But there's nothing to see hurting. That would be one thing. And there were a lot of other side effects that don't, I mean, like sometimes I do have a brain fog. It's called chemo brain. Initially, they were saying that it would only last for 6 months, then 2 years. And then the recent studies show that you can be with it for the rest of your life. But yeah, the other one of the chemo drugs actually gave me fibrosis in the lungs. Hopefully it will not advance, but it's not reversible. And then I had the surgeries, and I have a whole bunch of scar tissue because I had bilateral mastectomies. And then to do the breast reconstruction, they took those huge muscles, the latissimus dorsi muscles from my back, and they cut them from around the waist and along the spine, and they tunneled them under the arm, and then put them in the front to hold implants, because there was not enough flesh there left to hold the implants. So my whole back, not my whole back, like 2/3 of my back is all scar tissue. The front is scar tissue. I have what's called costochondritis. That's the painful inflammation of all the cartilages that connect the ribs. So whenever the weather gets bad, all those scars start tightening, and I feel like in a corset, too tight. And also the remaining muscles on my back cannot compensate, because they never took into consideration that I was a former gymnast and ballerina, and that muscle was very developed and had a very strong, um, in a way, yeah. That muscle had started to have a very strong role into holding my torso upright. So if I sit for too long or stand for too long, the remaining muscles in my back start spasming and burning, because it's hard for me to sit upright. It's different when I do a tutorial, and I tape for a while, then I can go lay down. Then I can come back and tape. But when I do a live and I have to sit without moving, that is really bad. And then the third issue that's really bad, and it's also degenerative, and I just got the news that it might happen sooner than thought, is that another one of the drugs I took, because the cancer I had was estrogen receptor. That means it was feeding on estrogen. So I had to go on a drug that was depleting the estrogen from your body. Unfortunately, that one brings a kind of fast forward menopause, like a menopause that happens 100 times faster, and that causes osteoarthritis. And I have severe degenerative changes in my spine, and especially in the cervical spine. I mean, there are points, the vertebrae have slipped one from the other. There are areas where there are spurs, and the spine cord canal is narrowed and the spine cord is compressed. So I'm slowly losing, among other things, control of my hands, strength, and that I cannot even begin to describe how much of it I lost. But slowly, I'm losing the control of my hands. So yeah, it's really bad. I mean, if I go over a bump that's too big in the road when I'm driving, I can be suddenly paralyzed from the neck down. So yeah, these are the reasons essentially why I cannot do long drives anymore. And I also have a permanent fatigue. And I told you these are only some of the things that I have to deal with. I have permanent fatigue, so sometimes I might want to do things, but I just can't. It's that kind of fatigue that if you're dying of thirst and a glass of water is on a table that's 2 yards from you, you're too tired to get up and get that glass of water and you'd rather die of thirst. It's very hard to explain if you have not gone through it. So this is the reason why from now on we'll pretty much have to calculate so that my lives will not go past an hour, because I would have to just stop it, say, I'm sorry, I'm hurting too much, and just stop it. And I'll have to be very careful what subjects I choose. Thank you. Okay, and now let me say it really fast in French. Donc, j'ai expliqué pourquoi je ne pourrais plus faire des lives qui sont plus longs d'1 heure. Parce que, comme j'ai dit avant, je vais expliquer un peu mes problèmes de santé. Les problèmes de santé que j'ai sont dégénératifs. Ça veut dire qu'ils ne vont jamais être guéris et ils peuvent seulement devenir plus sévères, mais jamais meilleurs. Donc, j'ai beaucoup de problèmes suivant la chimiothérapie parce que ça a complètement damagé mes nerfs. Donc, mes nerfs transmettent des signaux de douleur au cerveau quand il n'y a pas de cause physique pour la douleur. Donc, c'est pas bien à faire sur ça. Ensuite, j'ai eu des opérations parce que je suis un survivant de cancer de sein. J'ai dû l'opération d'enlever mes 2 seins, mais ensuite, quand on a fait la reconstruction, on a pris les grands muscles, je ne sais pas comment on le dit, de mon dos, et on les a coupés à la taille, et ensuite ils les ont pris mais dans le sous-bras et les ont emportés au front, et ils ont créé comme une poche pour mettre un implant. Mais ça m'a laissé avec beaucoup de cicatrices, de tissu cicatriciel. Oui, mais je ne sais pas comment le prononcer. Je sais comment l'écrire, mais j'ai oublié comment le prononcer. Mais merci, c'est ce que je voulais. Donc, ce tissu cicatriciel, chaque fois que le temps est mauvais, commence à se... Je me sens comme si j'étais dans un corset qui était tout étroit et que je ne pouvais jamais enlever. Ensuite, j'ai une autre condition qui consiste de l'inflammation de tous les cartilages qui connectent les côtes. Donc, ça, c'est une autre chose. Et ensuite, j'espère que je n'ai pas oublié, j'ai un peu de problème de mémoire aussi parce que la chimiothérapie. Ensuite, j'ai dû, pour 5 ans, prendre un médicament parce que les tumeurs que j'ai eu 5 différents types de cancer dans le sein. Mais il était estrogène positif, c'est-à-dire qu'il se nourrissait sur l'estrogène. Donc, pour 5 ans, j'ai été sur un traitement qui dépouillait mon corps d'estrogène, mais ça aussi, ça a été comme une ménopause qui est 100 fois plus vite. Donc, ça a causé de l'ostéoarthrite et j'ai beaucoup d'échanges dégénératifs dans mon épine, surtout dans dans mon cou. Et il y a des vertèbres qui sont mises alignées. Il y a des endroits où la moelle, je ne sais pas si je le prononce bien, de l'épine est constrictée et donc petit à petit, je perds l'habilité d'utiliser mes mains. Et parce que le grand muscle qu'ils ont pris de mon bas, ils n'ont pas considéré le fait que je suis une ex-gymnaste et ballerine et que ce muscle était très important pour maintenir mon torse droit. Les uns qui sont restés dans mon bas, si j'essaie de rester assise pour plus d'une heure, j'ai des douleurs horribles et ça, pratiquement, ça brûle. Elle devient spastique et ça brûle. Donc, on va faire... non, there we go. That's something. Donc, c'est une chose qu'on devra tenir compte quand je fais mes lives. Elles ne vont pas être plus longues d'une heure dorénavant. So, merci Claudine. Donc, let's see, what is to come? As you know, I've started, and again, I'm going to try and do as much as I can and as fast as I can. But again, if the fatigue hits, it's nothing that I can do. You know that I started 2 mini-series, one that is in 3 parts, that's with the special effects using the Lumiere paints. And I have 2 more coming, one of them, and there will be the Lumiere paints, the Cosmic Shimmer, and alcohol inks. It will be effects with some of these combined, and they make absolutely fabulous effects on polymer clay. And then there's the other series that I started because I realized that I've shown you in certain pieces how to obtain a specific realistic effect of metal, but I never really treated the subject, this is how you do this, this is how you do this, this is how you do this. And it's not like I'm telling you this is how you must do. I'm showing you what are my best methods. And I decided, because until now in those tutorials, I mostly showed you how to obtain those effects using the least expensive alternatives. But I decided to actually make some videos in which to show you how to obtain those effects the best way, even if it involves buying something more expensive. A Cosmic Shimmer is a polishing wax, glossy polishing. Hold on, I'll show you. It's gorgeous. Metallic gilding polish. Okay, I couldn't find the words. It's a gilding polish. Okay, and the cool stuff is that, number one, it gives an absolutely beautiful metallic thing. Yeah, that I have for my sponsors, Catherine. So I might put something on public too, but I have already released those for my sponsors back when, and I don't know if I'm going to make some of them public at all. Anyway, so this is a very nifty thing because, so you open it like any, if you can open it, if your hands don't mess up on you. I told you. Okay. See, that's my, let me try and get the other one. Maybe the other one opens better. And it's not the bottle, it's me. It's my hands. I need that non-slip thing. Oh, it's the weather and they don't work for nothing today. Goodness gracious. Okay, I cannot open them today. I'm sorry. I just cannot. It's not the bottle. They are very easy to open normally. It's just my hands are not working and it hurts for me to grasp those issues. But anyway, when you open it, you also have this awesome little sponge. So if you go for polishing, it has to be pas exactement, est un peu plus différent. It has to be primed with a little bit of soapy water, and then you squeeze it really good, and then that's for the metallic luster. But it can also be used beautifully for silk screening, and the colors are just fabulous. And I wouldn't be able to tell you if it's acrylics. I mean, in some things it does behave like an acrylic, but in other things it behaves more like a polishing wax. So I'm not entirely sure what it is made out of, but it has very, very tiny, the sparkly powder, whatever it is inside, it's exceptionally small. So that's the big thing, that once you dip your little sponge in it, you can close the bottle so it won't dry, and you can work with whatever you're working without this drying out too fast. And there are a plethora of beautiful colors. So I will be, excuse me, I will be showing you all kinds of special effects by combining all these. Yeah, no, it's just I told you today I have problems gripping, so I cannot grip and hold so I can open it. It's just a matter of the weather. It's not them, it's me. I just cannot. I've been dropping things. I tried to wash dishes and I had to give up because I almost broke a plate. I dropped it. So, j'ai dit que en ce qui concerne maintenant, je vais faire, vous savez que j'ai déjà commencé deux mini-séries. Les autres deux parts seront avec de la lumière Exciter Pack, du Cosmic Shimmer et des encres en alcool qui sont, il y a beaucoup d'effets en combinant. Mais ceci, c'est comme le Gilder's Wax, partiellement, mais on peut aussi l'utiliser pour faire des silk screen. Je ne sais pas comment on dit ça en français. Then, talking about the series with metal, I will get practically not just each metal, but you saw how the first one was with oxidized, antiqued oxidized silver. Because when we are talking silver, we are talking various types of silver. You have the antiqued one, the oxidized one. You have the regular old silver. You have the polished silver. You have the sterling silver. Or when it comes to copper, you have the more oxidized. So I'm going to show, and of course, it's not going to be one after the other. You notice that I like to intersperse various subjects so I don't get you bored with the same thing over and over and over. And on each of them, I will do a piece. It might not be a jewelry piece. I'm going to start to make more decorative pieces and other things because I was asked why don't I make other stuff, and I will start making other things, like pretty light switches, show you how to make decorating knobs, and the curtain rod ends that you can make your whole room be coordinated, and things like that. Yeah, it will be great. And one of them is exactly with those two, but there's a specific way of using them to obtain those effects. It's not just, oh yeah, I'm gonna put this and I'm gonna put this and it's going to be splendid. No, it's a bit tricky on how you use those. As it comes to other things, yes, I will do more for gemstones, and yes, I will do more beginner stuff because I was told that us beginners want to know more and want to be able to do some stuff without having to know how to do a lot of other things. But yeah, don't forget that I said I will be redoing some of my previous gemstone tutorials, for gemstone tutorials, just because when I made those, the only thing that I had when it comes to Pardo was Pardo translucent. And now that I finally have the full, almost the full range, excuse me. Excuse me. It's the cold outside. Now that I have the full range, I can show you how to obtain those 4 gemstones with using other things. And the other thing is that I used Ranger inks in some of my previous tutorials, and I think that I said it before. I had a very, very unpleasant, thank you, happening with the Ranger inks when I discovered that they are fully and totally non-waterproof. That's when I forgot one of my 4 Peterside cabochons overnight in a bowl of water because I was sanding and I got interrupted. And it had a lot of the colors that were inside obtained with Ranger inks. And then when I went back to it in the morning, it was not colored anymore. So, so yeah, I will have to remake some of those with how to obtain the colors with regular Pardo colors and in some cases with Piñata inks. And then slowly, I just keep gathering more stuff to show you. I just have to get to it because, as I said, the fatigue is just kicking my behind, and there are days in which I just cannot do much. I mean, I would work for a total, because see, that's the problem. And I think I spoke about that before. I work for 15 minutes and then I start being in pain and then I have to go lay down. And I lay down for 15 minutes, half an hour, then I come back and I work for another 15 minutes. So something that normally would take, let's say, 2 hours, for me it's like 6 hours because I have to take all these breaks. Not to talk about the fact that if I need to do any kind of house cleaning or cooking or grocery shopping or a doctor's visit, that day is over for me. I am completely wiped out. So, and unfortunately, it's nothing that I can do. I mean, I'm trying. I tried all kinds of energy boosts and supplements and herbal supplements. When the fatigue hits, it hits. I become practically narcoleptic. I just cannot do anything. So my thing is that it's like it's a very bad conundrum because I'm trying to bring out and make sure that I can show you as much as I can of what I know when it comes to art and to polymer clay before I lose completely control of my hands and I cannot work in polymer clay anymore. And on the other hand, I'm too fatigued to do that fast enough. So just please bear with me. I'm doing my best. Be convinced that I'm doing my best. Merci. Thank you, Celeste. Donc, j'ai dit que mon problème, en essence, mon problème est que j'essaie de faire le mieux que je peux. Mais le problème est que je ne peux pas travailler pour longtemps. Donc, je travaille pour 15 minutes, ensuite je dois aller me reposer. Donc, quelque chose qui normalement a besoin de 2 heures, pour moi, c'est 6 heures. parce que je dois me reposer. Donc, c'est un vrai problème parce que j'essaie de vous apporter, de partager le plus de ce que je sais en ce qui concerne l'argile polymérique et l'art en général, avant que je ne peux plus utiliser mes mains pour ça. Mais de l'autre côté, c'est la fatigue qui m'empêche mes autres problèmes de santé qui m'empêchent de faire ça vite, assez vite. Parce que quand la fatigue, et ça c'est un effet secondaire de la chimiothérapie, quand la fatigue arrive, je peux faire rien. J'ai essayé beaucoup de choses, j'ai essayé beaucoup de suppléments, j'ai essayé de diète alimentaire, j'ai essayé. Rien ne m'aide. C'est quand la fatigue est là, elle est là, et je deviens narcoleptique. Yes, it's French. As much as I can remember of it, it's not always correct. I can promise you. I used to speak French really good. French was actually my second mother's tongue, but after living in the US for almost 20 years, and I did not have any kind of occasion to speak it, I forgot a lot. So now I'm slowly remembering. Thank you, Cecile. That's really heartening. Makes me not be so upset because I think, oh yeah, I should still remember it. It's been with me for so long, but you know how it is when it's a long time that you don't speak a language, you start forgetting, even when it's your mother's tongue. And I said it's my second. I started learning French when I was 3, and learning English when I was 8. So, and learning other languages later. But most of them, if you don't speak, you forget. And on some of them, yeah, I have no problems reading. I mean, in French, I have absolutely no problems reading or listening, but when I start speaking, and then also there's the problem of my memory issues. And the worst part is that it's not a long-term memory generally. It's the short-term memory, because at one point I got really scared that it might be Alzheimer because it runs in my family. I mean, my grandma died of it, my father died of it. So I got so scared that I actually went ahead and I did the head CT scans and stuff, but they told me that no, there is no evidence of any kind of packing or anything. So I'm probably safe for now. Thank you, Celeste. So this is essentially the idea. And remember, if you have any kind of problems, the best way to get in touch with me is to message me on the Facebook page. If you message me here on YouTube, the chances are that it might be more than a month before I answer you, because unfortunately, YouTube does not give notifications when you have messages. It will give you notifications that, yes, somebody commented on this video and but it will not notify you that you have messages, and there is no setting to make it notify you that you have messages. So unless I click by mistake or I remember to check the messages tab, the chances are that I will not see your message for a long time. So the best and fastest way to get an answer from me is to message me, send me a private message on the Kaliana Facebook page. And usually, unless I'm sleeping or I'm working on something, I should be able to answer you right away, because I keep Facebook open at all times. And you've seen, and I'm going to start making it a practice for as much as I can. Because if you, and I cannot deal with chiropractors. I have physical changes in my spine. They cannot be moved, or I can be paralyzed. And yeah, I was on Atkins for a long time. Unfortunately, that's another issue. As I said, I am on disability. And some of you know that my dog Whisper has been diagnosed with liver cancer in October. this past October and was given 2 months to live. And I've been on Atkins for a long time, on the ketogenic diet, because that's how I lost all the extra weight I had put on during the cancer therapy. But when Whisper was diagnosed with liver cancer, I got the advice of a very nice veterinarian lady who gave me the whole recipe to have him on a liver cancer diet for dogs. And I put him on that. And he's still alive and kicking, and his liver enzymes are back to normal. Unfortunately, in order to be able to keep Whisper on his liver diet, that involves lots of chicken breast and coconut flour and stuff like that, I cannot afford to be myself on the Atkins diet. So I had to revert to a cheaper, regular diet. But for now, that's fine. Atkins and ketosis is the same thing, Catherine. I have medical background. I used to be back in Eastern Europe an alternative therapies practitioner. So I know a lot of stuff like that. But Atkins is based on ketosis. It's the same thing. Ketogenic diet or Atkins is the same thing. There is absolutely no difference. So, getting back to it, that's low carb. That's exactly when your body, instead of using carbohydrates, gets in ketosis and uses fat for fuel. It's the same thing. Try and study, please. I'm not going to start explaining to you because this is my polymer clay channel, but trust me, I know exactly what I'm talking about. It's the same thing. So unfortunately, I cannot be on and it is true that I was more energetic. Yes, I do. And I'm not, I mean, I liked to know a lot of things in my life, and I probably accumulated a lot of academic credits. Because as I said, when I did the art school, it was a school that was after the regular school hours. So I just managed to accumulate a lot of credits in a vast array of subjects. And as I said, I'm a little bit of a nerd. I mean, initially I wanted to go and study nuclear physics, but I just couldn't because there was no class on that when I went to college. So that's how I ended up at the university in the philology section. But afterwards, I got a lot of other studies. So I cannot gardening anymore. I still have a lot of heirloom seeds. And if you're friends with me on Facebook, you can still see the albums of my garden from the past years. I had a beautiful cottage garden here in the heart of Oklahoma. Nobody could believe something like this exists. But I had, and it was all on heirloom seeds, a lot of them from Romania. So, hi, Colleen. I'm glad that you're able to be here. But unfortunately, I cannot physically do gardening anymore. It's too hard for me. And especially after I had to have, because I had 2 years ago, I had to go back in, because when they prelevated that muscle, they nicked the muscle underneath and they tore the fascia of it. So it started bulging outwards and it was moving the stuff in my abdomen. So I had to go to have that muscle repaired. And now I'm not allowed to lift anything that is heavier than 2 pounds. For goodness sakes, Connor is 17. So, but yeah, I gave most of my heirloom seeds away, and I still have a whole bunch because I went mostly because I had flowers and vegetables and herbs, because that's what a cottage garden is. Um, and I went mostly for perennial stuff or stuff that would reseed itself. And generally speaking, every spring I call my friends because I have a lot of. That's when they send spring and fall when they start dividing, and I usually give away tons of strawberries, lilies. I have some. I have over 100 lilies around my house. Some of them are as tall as me. Daylilies, various irises, and all kinds of other things. But yeah, I love gardening. I love nature, but I cannot do it anymore, unfortunately. That's one of the reasons why this house needs to be sold, because I need to be in a place that doesn't have such a big garden, because it's getting too hard for me to take care of it. So, okay, what else? Let me try and check on the chat. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Let me not forget. Yes, I got a Mike Braille's silk screen, one of them, budget thing. So I'm going to be making something with it. I think it's going to be necklace. And Celeste, if you message me on Facebook, I'll give you the link to a place where you can get a whole bunch of stuff very cheap. The thing is that they send dormant plants. That's why you'll find a lot of bad reviews for them online, because people expect to get nursery like stuff, looking like stuff, and then when they get things that look like dry sticks in a bag, they get all, oh, but no, those are normal plants, and normally they sell the strawberries. Most of them they are like between 5.99 and 6.99 for 25, and you get them right before they start leafing, and some of them can even have small leaves. But I have in my yard, I don't know, like 4 or 5 different varieties. So they kind of start early in spring, and then all the way through summer they would keep making strawberries. The secret is whenever you plant them, I know it's going to hurt. It's going to hurt when you do this, but believe me, if you want good harvest from those strawberries, do this. The first year after you plant a strawberry, break the whenever they bloom, break the bloom up away, cut the bloom, don't let them bloom, don't let them fruit in the first year, and then starting the second year you'll do absolutely fabulous. Oh, in Florida you'll have a lot of stuff, and they have pomegranate bushes. They have I don't know if the are you in zone 10, because the climbing hardy kiwi vines they are 5 to 10, but they grow great. Oh, and by the way, my little chestnut trees this year bloomed for the first time, so I might see some chestnuts this year. And I also have from them I have elderberry bushes, I have blueberry bushes, blackberries, dwarf tart cherries. So it's a lot of stuff. Oh yeah, the Scalpy one is a beautiful silk screen. It's absolutely fabulous, and especially because it has like 3 different areas on the thing. You can make different patterns, and then it has all the round mandalas that are absolutely gorgeous. And yeah, I should do a little bit more silk screen, especially to show you various combinations of colors. So I will do the Mike Braille one, and then maybe we'll do some more. But again, you have no idea how many things I want to do. And I'm just handicapped. I can't do them because I have to freaking rest. And I have to sleep, and I cannot move my hands. It's very, very frustrating. But again, there are so many things, and Teresa can tell you, because we chat often on Skype, how many things I have in mind to make. It's just that I don't seem to get around to do them. I'm slowly starting to catch up because I had a lot of issues. Like last year when the whole fatigue started, then Whisper fell sick, then the cats fell sick, then I had again issues, and then I had website issues. And now, whenever it started getting better, I had the jaw thing that I'm getting better. Oh, it should grow, dear Celeste. Because the thing that happened 2 weeks ago was that I have what's called bruxism. It's when you clench your jaws, not grinding necessarily, teeth grinding. But and with me, it gets triggered whenever I'm stressed, and I was trying to clean my yard from the winter debris, and I was starting to get in pain. So without realizing, I started clenching, clenching, clenching to the point that I felt a sharp pain. And hopefully Tuesday they'll see if I can go in for an X-ray because it was so swollen. They think I might have fissured my mandible, but they don't know. I was on antibiotics, very heavy antibiotics that were kicking my ass um, for like 10 days, and I finally started getting better. But yeah, as Teresa said, it's a long list of what I want to make, and I hope to be able to go through all of it before I cannot do it anymore. And I hope that I'll be able to keep the degenerative thing at bay for a lot longer before I cannot do things. And yes, we are coming up on an hour. I was going to say that's why I checked the chat to see if there would be anything that I didn't touch, because I start already feeling that my back starts bothering me. So I shall see you tomorrow. Let me show you the little flowers. Ah, as I promised you, I will make them and have them ready to put on the brooch. But all the little flowers are made. So tomorrow we'll just put them together on a brooch. Donc, c'est toutes les fleurs que j'ai fait pour le live de demain. Et on va les mettre sur une broche. Just be very careful. Tomorrow's live is 3 hours earlier than normal. Yeah, it can give nasty migraines, but this one was horrible. I mean, I had to massage my jaw joint to be able to unclench my jaw, and apparently I have total bridges, and in this area I have an area where there's no teeth at all, so it's just the bridge and with the fake teeth thing. And when I did this, I severely injured my gum, and that's where the whole swelling was, but it was too swollen for the X-ray to see. So they couldn't tell exactly what was going on, and hopefully Tuesday they'll be able to see. But anyway, so tomorrow's live will be 3 hours earlier than normal because I'm Eastern Orthodox, and for me Easter is tomorrow. And I have people coming over for lunch, for the Easter lunch. And that's why I got it to be earlier than normal. Donc demain, le live sera 3 heures avant l'heure que je tiens le live d'habitude, parce que je suis de l'Europe d'Est, donc je suis orthodoxe, et Pâques pour moi c'est demain. Et j'ai des invités pour déjeuner, donc je vais faire le live plus tôt que d'habitude. So I shall see you. Thank you, Jules. So I shall see you tomorrow in less than 24 hours, and we'll finish that brooch. And then in the meantime, I'll keep trying to finish the stuff that I'm doing. I'm almost done with and remember that I will be posting the turquoise matrix textures will be on my website. So if you want to see it, make sure that you're a registered member. It will not be on YouTube. It will be only on my website. It will not be on YouTube at all, just on my website. So, yeah, Yeah, you'll probably be able to watch it. Okay, so it's going to be at 9 a.m. Central Daylight Time. But if you go and look for it, I actually see if I can. I'm going to post a link here for you so you can set yourself a reminder. Sorry, it takes a while to get through all the. Okay. I do not see my other. Okay, it's on my Facebook page. So apparently it doesn't want to come up. So I cannot put the link on here. But it's linked on my Facebook page. And if you are on the Facebook page, a follower, you'll see, because I usually post it 5 to 10 minutes before I start the live. So I'll see you tomorrow. And thank you for being here with me and for understanding. And I hope you now understand why I have so many issues on not being able to do long lives, and why sometimes I say, oh, we'll do this tomorrow. And then I'm like, no, let's do it later. But that's the reason why. And now you know. So I'll see you tomorrow. And don't forget to get on my Facebook page and to be a member of my website and order through my links if you want to help with me having the materials I need for tutorials. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful weekend. Goodbye.